We are back with an ongoing Fox News alert. Right now, one person is confirmed dead as a hostage situation unfolds in southern France. The gunman reportedly pledging allegiance to ISIS and yelling Allahu Akbar at some point during the attack.
The mayor in that French town says the gunman has freed all the hostages from inside the supermarket except for one lone police officer still inside there with him.
French counterterrorism prosecutors are now taking charge of this investigation. We're going to bring in Dr. Sebastian Gorka. He is a terrorism expert, worked for the president and his administration. Dr. Gorka, thank you for joining us. What's happening there on the ground? What would they be doing right now?
Well, right now they've called in the GIGN, which is the special response units that they use in these kinds of situations. They would have secured the perimeter and do whatever they can to identify who the perpetrator is, make sure that anybody who needs medical attention gets it as soon as possible. And then the first thing they do is they quote-unquote scrub the social media of the individual to see whether he has accomplices, whether he truly is connected in some way to an organization like ISIS. Initial reports say he is. He said that I'm doing this for Syria and that there's a connection to ISIS. So right now it's about securing the perimeter, making people as safe as possible and finding out who this person is, what the motivation could be. But the trouble is, it's not your classic. 20 years ago, they called in the hostage negotiators. They try and establish a line of communication. But with modern-day jihadists, they don't want to negotiate. They want to kill as many people.
Sure. Sebastian, it does sound as if the police officers, there were half a dozen of them, they were out jogging, and then this guy opened fire, and then they took cover in the grocery store. There still is one police officer inside being held hostage. Tell us a little bit about the dynamic of sympathizers to ISIS and this part of France.
Well, look, we've seen this before. Let's not forget in 2015, in connection with the Charlie Hebdo shootings in Paris, we had the Jewish grocery store, the hypermarket, a similar situation with 4 Jewish individuals murdered in a hostage situation in that supermarket. The philosophy is very, very simple. It's about incurring as much carnage as possible in a high concentration of unarmed civilians. If you read Al-Qaeda's magazine Inspire, if you read the ISIS magazine Dabiq, they give you all the instructions. They tell you who to choose and how to inflict as much damage as possible.
Dr. Gorka, we've only got about 15 seconds, but does France have its arms around the radical Islamic problem in their country?
The operators do. The intelligence people and national security people do. It's the politicians that have a larger problem. With the open border situation in the EU, it is a problem that has yet to be adequately grappled with, Peter.
All right. Sebastian Gorka joining us on the phone, commenting on the apparent ambush of police officers by somebody pledging allegiance to ISIS in southern France. Thank you, sir.